He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business,
accounts for 37% of Nebraska's traffic fatalities. Sadly, 67 people lost their lives on Nebraskan roads during this time last year. Your children, significant others, parents, pets, and friends matter to you. Drive like they matter. Don't let a crash take you away from their lives. Always wear your seatbelt, keep your eyes on the road, and put your phone away. Brought to you by the Nebraska chapter of the National Safety Council and the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Well, LSU looking for number 8 off to a good start. This is a program that has never lost the first game at the College World Series and come back to win the national title. So LSU getting the win 4-1 over their rivals from Arkansas puts them on the right track. Their head coach, Jay Johnson, who helped dogpile on this field 2 years ago, is down on the field with the third member of our crew tonight. We introduce you to Connor Happer.
Thanks, John. Here with Jay Johnson. Coach, coming off the other night, you're in position in the winner's bracket. What does that mean coming into tonight?
It means we played a good game the other night and doesn't carry a lot of relevance into what happens tonight. But excited to be here in this night game, excited to play UCLA, great team, one of the best teams in the country, no question this year, and should be another great night for college baseball. You
get a great starting pitching performance the other night. You've had basically 2 aces the entire year. What do you need from Ianson tonight?
Just need him to be Anthony. We play well behind him, kind of the heartbeat of our team, and just need him to execute pitches the way that he does, play solid defense behind him, and support him with really good quality at-bats throughout our lineup.
What's a key or two that you'll sort of be looking for in the early portions of this game to know that it's your type of game?
Yeah, the offense not to force it and do a good job of separating balls and strikes and our pitch versus not our pitch. Can we string together 3 quality at-bats in a row? And I think retiring the leadoff guy, it's always important. I think it's really important against UCLA.
What do you see when you look at UCLA?
Great team, competed against Coach Savage for a long time in the old Pac-12, and a lot of respect for them. Pitchers throw a lot of strikes, have a lot of pitchability. They use guys well, like they all have a niche. The guys that they bring out of the bullpen, really good top of the order. Dean West, really good player. Chalowski, obviously, is probably one of the best, if not the best player in the country. 3-hole guy has 80 RBIs, and so you just got to kind of take them one at a time, but great team, great opponent, type of team you should be playing in Omaha.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
John, back to you.
Thank you very much, Connor. Jay Johnson, of course, former coach at Arizona, so he and John Savage crossed paths many times over the years as Jay Johnson helped lead Arizona to the 2016 National Championship Series where they fell to Coastal Carolina. Of course, they're here because of Cade Anderson through 7 very strong innings, and when you look at the numbers on Anthony Ianson, since his last loss, April 26 versus Tennessee, 39 and a third innings, 7 earned runs, 26 hits, 10 walks, 51 strikeouts. That equates to an 0.915 whip, walks, hits per innings pitched, and a 160 ERA. Really, really good stuff from Ianson, the right-handed junior from Lakewood, California. When we continue, we'll shift gears, go to the other side of the field, and talk with John Savage, trying to take UCLA to a national championship for the first time in 12 years. He will counter tonight with Landon Stump on the bump. In association with 1620 The Zone, you're listening to the Men's College World Series on the NCAA Radio Network.
We are the PGA of America, and since 1916, our PGA of America golf professionals have loved and led this game. Our love for the game drives our coaches to help millions of golfers with their games, our operators to deliver incredible experiences, and our general managers to run any facility and business at the highest level. Our love for the game leads us to play at a high level, impact lives through PGA Reach, and develop your love for the game every day. The PGA of America, we love this game.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learned. The porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring. Join a dynamic team offering opportunities in all classifications, low voltage, residential, and commercial. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or have no experience, they'll train you. Enjoy great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement plan. IBEW Local 22 is your gateway to a rewarding career in Omaha. Don't miss the chance to build your future. Call Mike at 402-810-0789. That's 402-810-0789.
When it comes to protecting your home, Jay Stennett Contracting takes pride in ensuring every detail is handled. Roofing, siding, gutters. When it comes to the exterior of your home, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. Water, wind, and hail can wreak havoc on the exterior of your home. If your home is damaged, let Jay Stennett Contracting come out for a no-obligation inspection. If repairs are needed, they will help you through every step of the process. When you need an honest assessment, Jay Stennett Contracting has you covered. JSCRestoration.com.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Well, we talked earlier about how LSU has always won the first game en route to their national championship. Well, John Savage has a good omen on his side for UCLA. They have won their first 6 NCAA tournament games for their third time in program history, and the last time they did it was 2013. That squad eventually went 10-0 on its way to that 2013 national championship. John Savage has a big task in front of him tonight, taking on LSU out of the Southeastern Conference. Let's find out what's on his mind tonight as we send back down to Connor Happer.
Thanks, John. Here with John Savage, head coach of the UCLA Bruins. Coach, coming off the other night, how does it feel going into the 1-0 game?
Favorable, but that game's behind us, and we're on to new challenges, new opportunities tonight.
Everybody's good here, obviously, but this team is pretty good that you have in front of you.
Yeah, they are. They're a really, really good team. Jay's done a tremendous job of putting that team together, and we know how talented they are, and you expect that. This time of the year, when you're playing the winner's bracket in Omaha, regardless of who you're playing, they're going to be really, really good. It's about us, really, at the end of the day. It's about how we play and how we pitch and see where it goes.
You feel like this is a bigger stage for a couple of your maybe underrated stars that people don't know maybe much about yet?
Not necessarily. These guys have played some big games, young in their careers, growing up. They've played a lot of baseball, and this is obviously the epitome of any college player, and so the stage doesn't get much bigger than this. So you don't quite know how they're going to get out there and perform, but I thought we handled it pretty well on Saturday, but that's what happens when you move on.
Teams get into this game, and they want to throw everything at it because it's so important to go 2-0 to start in the bracket. How much will you throw at this one to be able to get a win?
I think we throw everything at them. It's pretty dramatic, the difference between winning and losing this game, where the next step is.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
My pleasure. Thank you.
John, back to you.
And tonight's starting pitcher for the Bruins, Landon Stump, is looking to atone for the last time he performed on this field. He started the Big Ten Tournament Championship game against Nebraska, and the Huskers chased him after just 4 outs, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs as Nebraska went on to win the Big Ten Tournament Championship. He certainly hoping for better results here tonight. Should have good weather to pitch in. The wind is blowing in, and this park has been playing big all week long. But speaking of the weather, we may have a developing situation on that front. We'll update you on that and get you ready with the starting lineups coming up next. From 1620 The Zone and the NCAA Radio Network, this is the Men's College World Series.
Bankers Trust has the expertise to help you hit a financial home run. With special offers on checking and CD products, you'll be on your way to achieving your goals in no time. Their technology and products are designed to help you manage your finances anytime, anywhere. Visit their new full-service location at 192nd and Dodge today, or visit bankerstrust.com. Step up to a brighter financial future with Bankers Trust, where they'll help you hit your financial goals out of the park.
Defending your rights takes experience. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience spans 3 generations. Whether it's a misdemeanor, felony, or DUI, we bring the same structure trusted by local and national clients: courtroom preparation, sentencing insight, and real legal strategy. Schedule a consultation with your defense team today. Visit SedoraLaw.com. That's SODORO Law.com. Or call 402-504-9346. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit SedoraLaw.com.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Severe for KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. On the field, every second counts, whether you're warming up, cooling down, or battling cramps mid-game. Trusted by elite athletes, KRT delivers fast, targeted relief. Use it pre-workout to boost muscle endurance, post-workout to speed muscle recovery. KRT is all natural, hormone-free, and WADA compliant. Visit KRTrelief.com to get yours today. KRT Athletic Muscle Cream. Stay in the game.
The Men's College World Series pregame show on 1620 The Zone and Westwood One is powered by Pinnacle Bank, serving you with strength, stability, and integrity. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Our game weather is presented by John Higgins Weather Guard. For storm repair, roofing, siding, and gutters, make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Got some little bit more cloud cover moving in. Shouldn't have too many shadows over the plate tonight, but the winds have been blowing in throughout the day. It certainly helped in our first game make that one heck of a pitcher's duel. Now we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect here in the Omaha metro area until midnight tonight, and there are some thunderstorms about 2 miles to the north of here. Certainly the weather folks here at the ballpark will be monitoring that, and hopefully those won't stay organized and move into our area so we can get this game in on time, on schedule. We'll be on time for the start, but we will be monitoring as the day develops. That's our game weather presented by John Higgins Weather Guard. For storm repair, roofing, siding, and gutters, make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. It's time now for our national anthem, tonight being performed by the Lewis and Clark Honor Guard from Omaha. And tonight's anthem is presented by Bankers Trust. Experience the difference at bankerstrust.com.
Our 7th and 8th grade students from Lewis and Clark Middle School within the Omaha Public School System. They're the Lewis and Clark Honor Choir.
Our national anthem presented by Bankers Trust. Experience the difference at bankerstrust.com. It'll be LSU, the home team tonight on the scoreboard, and they are in the home whites with the purple tigers across the chest and the purple ball caps. UCLA, the visiting team, will be in the road grays tonight, and they're all going with the high UCLA blue socks and Bruins across their chest. Celebrities out here tonight. Pirates second-year star Paul Skeens, who was a hero for the national title winners in 23. He's here tonight watching from behind home plate. His team is off today before they head off on to another series tomorrow. And certainly a lot of folks around Bayou Country tuned into this one. In fact, quite a few LSU folks in here tonight. Looks like a little bit more than what was in here for the Arkansas game. Of course, the Arkansas folks outnumbered the LSU folks on Saturday night. But the purple and gold are here. And, of course, Omaha has always been friendly to LSU. They have made great friends over the last 30 or so years since LSU became a national power in college baseball. Before we get to our starting lineups, let's pause 10 seconds for identification. In association with Westwood One, this is the NCAA Radio Network. Your starting lineups are presented.
On a steamy Midwest evening, we welcome you back to Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. It's the fourth day of the College World Series, and we're getting ready for the winner's bracket matchup in bracket number 2. The victor becomes just one win away from the championship series. It's the 15 seed UCLA Bruins squaring off against the number 6 seed LSU Tigers. Hi there, folks. Nick Cope and former pitcher Sid Iyer on hand, high above the field here in Omaha. Here is what's at stake tonight. The winner advances to the bracket final on Wednesday evening, needing just one more win to advance to the finals coming up this weekend. The loser will have to win 3 straight games in 3 days, beginning tomorrow night against Arkansas. UCLA is one of 2 teams to have a perfect record in the NCAA tournament to this point. Coastal Carolina is now 7-0 after winning their 25th straight game last night over Oregon State to put themselves in the final of bracket 1. The Bruins are 6-0 after their 6-4 win over Murray State on Saturday. A game that you said at the time felt like the regional final against UC Irvine, where the Bruins scored early and then had to hang on.
I mean, it was kind of a bit of a tightrope there by the end of that game against Murray State. I mean, the Bruins got ahead early, but then that offense stalled there in the middle innings, and Murray State found their way back into the game, and it ended up taking 6 pitchers for UCLA to get it done, but they were able to eke out that 6-4 victory. And luckily, those 6 pitchers all had short outings, so they should be back here tonight against LSU.
The Bruins had just one base runner after the 4th inning as well, but prior to that, they were relentless in the early innings and were perhaps a bit unlucky to not score more than they did. They immediately loaded the bases in the 1st inning, but only managed 1 run. In the 3rd inning, you had that Blake Balt shot to left that was tracked down by the Racers left fielder at the last second. If that gets down, there's 2 more runs right there. But UCLA did have its patented big inning in the 4th where they scored 4 runs, and it started like many rallies have here in the postseason, with Phoenix Call getting himself on base and then flipping the lineup card over. You had that Chalowski squeeze bunt, Martin singled home a run, and A.J. Salgado punctuated it with a 2-run, 2-out double. We've seen it all year, but that inning showcased UCLA's offense at its finest.
And I mean, it just showcases that versatility that the offense has. Look, they've won a ton of games off the home run,
all coming in the last 40 years. No other program has had that level of success over the last 4 decades. Jay Johnson, the former Arizona coach, is in his 4th season in Baton Rouge, and he has continued the Tigers' run of dominance in this sport.
And he was able to get career win number 500 with the Tigers this season. And I mean, look, he's had success there with this program, and LSU always a powerhouse, but this team in particular, they get it done both offensively, defensively, and on the mound. So for UCLA, it's going to be a bit of a test here to play a full game.
You think about LSU, and you usually think about the offense first. Granted, I know Paul Skeens is the biggest star to come out of the program as of late, and they've got a solid offense, no doubt. But I'd argue it's the pitching staff that's been their separating factor this season. Tigers are top 10 in the country in team earned run average, strikeouts per 9 innings, and hits allowed per 9. And they've got the best 1-2 starting punch in the country. Cade Anderson just went 7 strong on Saturday against the Hogs. And the guy we'll see tonight, a Lakewood native, and Anthony Ianson.
I mean, you mentioned the pitching staff. Opponents this season against the Tigers have hit just .220 against LSU's pitching staff, and certainly who they're seeing on the mound today. Ianson, I mean, look, he is an excellent pitcher, a transfer from UC San Diego, and stuff-wise, he's going to be excellent. Fastball 95-97, and then he's got that power slurve around 83 miles per hour that he likes to use to put away hitters, and it's going to be a test here. I mean, he's good. I mean, that strikeout per 9 number is nearly 13 a game for Ianson.
He is born in Long Beach, raised in Lakewood, went to Lakewood High School. He grew up going to UCLA games as a teenager, and as you referenced, a couple of years at UC San Diego, and this season has blossomed with LSU. He is third in the nation with 142 strikeouts. A 274 earned run average was the third best in the SEC this year. 11-2 his record, and teams hitting just .211 against him throughout the course of the season. UCLA is the designated visiting team, so we will get a look at Anthony Ianson right away. He is going through his warm-up pitches on the field right now, and we'll get you the lineup for the Bruins. No changes from what you've been seeing here in the postseason. Dean West will lead it off, playing in left field. Rock Chalowski is the shortstop, hitting second. Then at first base, Mulavai Lavu. Roman Martin in the cleanup spot, playing at third base. Then it's the right fielder, A.J. Salgado. Hitting sixth, the center fielder, Peyton Brennan. Blake Baltz once more, the DH, hitting in the seventh spot. Cash Duggar doing the catching, hitting eighth. And Phoenix Call rounding out the order, hitting ninth. We had sun about 20 minutes ago, but the clouds have rolled in. Overcast here, the field totally in shadow, and the wind, as Sid mentioned a couple moments ago, blowing straight in from center field. We could have gusts up to 20 miles per hour, and we're told there is the possibility of thunderstorms later in the game, maybe in the 7 or 8 o'clock hour, so that also contributing to things as well. LSU wearing their home white uniforms today, the pinstripe whites, with Tigers in cursive across the chest in purple, outlined in gold. They've got the purple caps with the LSU interlocking logo, while UCLA counters with their traditional road grays. Bruins in cursive across the chest in blue, outlined in gold, and the blue caps. Kellen Levy calling balls and strikes tonight. First pitch in from Ianson, misses inside. A fastball there against Dean West. And we get underway here at 6:08 as Ianson's first pitch is at 98 miles per hour. Into his short windup from the first base side of the rubber, he induces a chopper up the middle from West, backhanded by the second baseman Dickinson, and on the transfer, he can't complete the throw over to first, and Dean West is aboard to lead off the ball game.
And I mean, hey, infield single, Dean West, good speed out of the box, but it was just a chopper, didn't try to do too much, and hit there in the middle infield. Now, actually, that second baseman, Dickinson, had to move way over and tried to shovel it over to the shortstop, Milam. Just like that, that's a base runner for UCLA.
And Milam just ducked out of the way. He had no idea that Dickinson wanted to flip him the ball and try to get a 4-6-3 single out, put out. So here's Chalowski, and takes a strike over the inside. A slider there from Ianson. So 1 on, nobody out. And it is ruled an infield single for Dean West, who's got the best OBP in the postseason for UCLA. Ianson set, holding at the belt, comes home, and there's a chopper on the left side, could be two. Milam to second, and Dickinson with that low throw actually has no chance to go to first. So they force out Dean West as the lead runner. Chalowski is aboard on the fielder's choice, and the Bruins would love to get Rock Chalowski going. He is hitting now right around 300 here in the postseason and still does not have an extra base hit.
And I mean, by Rock Chalowski standards, we've seen what he can do throughout the season. Certainly 300 in general, you'd be thrilled about that. But I mean, hey, on the mound, Ianson, he's really referencing that slider, especially against a good hitter in Chalowski.
Now he'll face a left-handed bat in Mulavai Lavu. No score, top of the first with the Bruins at the plate. 1 on and 1 out. Ianson's first offering. Again, the breaking ball, and that's upstairs for ball 1 to Lavu, who's hitting .346 here in the postseason with 11 batted in. Just went 1 for 3 the other day against Murray State. Bruins have been pretty aggressive at the plate here to start as Lavu takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And pretty immediately, curveball, then slider. Typically with Ianson, you want to see him throw that fastball and he'll finish you off with that slider. But again, heart of the lineup, and UCLA can hit the fastball, so he's sticking with the off speed.
Infield shaded to pull against Lavu, outfield deep. The pitch, swing and a miss. And again, there's the breaking ball. That slider just bottomed out below the knees. A swinging strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike to Lavu with 1 on and 1 out in the first. LaVue, the sophomore out of Huntington Beach, second team All-Big Ten selection this year. Jacob Walsh of Oregon was the first team first baseman. Now the pitch. There's a fastball piped in at the knees over the inner half for a called strike two. And at 96 miles per hour from Ianson. 2-2 the count to LaVue.
And that fastball's got a little bit of horizontal break, about 5 inches. So the speed differential, but also good movement on the mound from Ianson.
Ianson on the first base side of the rubber, holding set. He kicks and throws. And LaVue just makes some glancing contact to stay alive. Fouls it on home plate, and it lands right next to Roman Martin in the on-deck circle. Bruins, as the visitors, are in the first base dugout, and LSU over there on the third base side. Crowd still filing in here, just after 6 o'clock local time, and the sun trying to peek through the clouds. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mulivai LaVue. Chalowski on first, 1 away. Ianson's pitch is fouled straight back into the screen. Back-to-back foul balls from LaVue.
That was pitch number 10, but he's throwing 6 sliders of that 10. And you referenced the temperature. I mean, right now it's 89 degrees here in Omaha. About 50% humidity, and we mentioned that thunderstorm, at least the possibility of that. We'll see how that affects play in the field.
Well, the clouds certainly helping to keep it cooler at the moment, much cooler than it was on Saturday afternoon. Ianson set, another 2-2. Fastball grounded through the left side, base hit for LaVue. Chalowski holds up at second. 2 base knocks in this top of the first for UCLA. They've got first and second with 1 away, and Roman Martin set to hit momentarily.
And I mean, that was a good piece of hitting by LaVue. Worked that to a 7-pitch at-bat. And in fact, in that at-bat, he only saw 2 fastballs, including that last one there, which came in at 96. But he hit it out at 106 exit speed. That's a good piece of hitting by the heart of this lineup.
Last time Ianson pitched in the Supers against West Virginia, he allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in 5 innings, had 7 strikeouts against 3 walks, and LSU won that game going away 12-5. And now time is called by Kellen Levy, the plate umpire. And I think perhaps a warning, a time warning here against Ianson. So Roman Martin gets settled back in from the right side of the plate. He is UCLA's RBI leader in the postseason, 13 of them in 6 playoff games so far, including 2 against Murray State on Saturday. First pitch to him is in there for a strike.
Yeah, good pitch in there by Ianson. He's really using that fastball and that slider effectively, but again, 85 miles per hour on that off-speed pitch.
Now the pitch, and that's a liner down the left field line. Could be dangerous, and it is. Falling, it's cut off in the corner by Curiel. Chalowski will trot on home to score, and UCLA has taken an early 1-0 lead. Roman Martin does it again.
I mean, just an excellent piece of hitting, and especially with how the wind is today, it's blowing in towards the third base dugout, so righties certainly at an advantage. This was a slider that ended up over the inside part of the plate. Martin likes to turn on that pitch whenever he can, and he got it to hit the grass there. Curiel, the left fielder, did a good job of sliding to stop this one from getting to the wall. But hey, second and third here. So UCLA has a chance to keep things going with 1 out and the depth of this lineup on display.
And now time is called by LSU, and that UCLA dugout beckoning to its fans behind on the first base side to make some noise as they have 3 hits here in the first against Ianson, a talented right-hander for LSU who grew up in Lakewood. Teams are hitting just .211 against him this year, but at least here in the first looking a little bit vulnerable after that RBI double from Martin. Bruins have second and third for A.J. Salgado and still just 1 out on the board. And we'll remind you, UCLA 27-1 this season when they score first. They do so here on the top of the first.
Yeah, and that was a really quick mound visit. In fact, the pitching coach for LSU back to the dugout, but they are definitely facing no slouch on the mound. To your point, he led the SEC in ERA during conference play. Back in May against Texas A&M, threw a complete game and struck out 14. So this is someone who you can't really mess with on the mound, but UCLA getting to him early.
So here is Salgado, the left-handed hitter with 2 in scoring position. And the first pitch from Ianson is a ground ball, foul, just wide of first. Ground ball to the right side will score. Lavu with the infield playing back.
And Salgado has been pretty aggressive this College World Series. Definitely likes to swing first pitch. Here he wanted that fastball, and he got it right over the middle of the zone, just early on it.
Salgado so far in the postseason hitting at .364. Half of his hits have been for doubles. And he takes on the outside corner for a called strike. Another slider there from Ianson. That's been his favored pitch so far in this first inning.
Yeah, and even on those last 2 hits, both of those were coming in on fastball. So he's back to the slider here to try and keep him off balance.
1-0 UCLA in the top of the first. No pitch. And that's high upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes as the fastball from Ianson is laid off by Salgado.
Now Ianson on the mound, 3/4 release, so he definitely gets a little bit of lateral movement, but couple that with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, that's an effective pitch.
1-2 pitch, and there's a grounder, and that'll be snagged on a backhand by Dickinson, but the second baseman has no play. Lavu scores. It's 2-0 UCLA on that hard-hit ground ball from Salgado. Dickinson did all he could, ranging to his right. A great effort to keep it in the infield, but nothing he could do about it from that point.
And when Dickinson dove for that ball, his first inclination was to look at Martin at third base rather than get Salgado out at first base. I mean, that ball was hit 102 off the bat. Similarly, Roman Martin's double, 106 off the bat. So UCLA, they're getting a good piece of all of these pitches that Ianson has been throwing.
Great contact so far for UCLA. 2 runs in on 4 hits. On the corners with 1 out now for Peyton Brennan. Waiting on Ianson. Here it comes. Breaking ball swung on and missed. That just bottomed out. Was that a changeup maybe, the first one, or was that a breaker?
It was a breaker. It was a 12-6 curveball. And to reference, he's got that 12-6 and he's got a power slurve. This time using the curve here to change eye levels and get ahead.
Reeves, the third baseman, shallow over there. And there's a check on Salgado, UCLA's leading stolen baseman on the season, 14 out of 15 on the year for AJ. Now UCLA with a 2-0 lead here in the first. Great chance to do some more damage with Peyton Brennan at the plate, who leads the team with a .481 average in the postseason. Here's the pitch. He squares and takes down and in. Fastball there from Ianson, a ball and a strike to Brennan.
And Reeves, the third baseman, originally playing on the line, charged there to cover for the bunt, but meanwhile in the middle infield, Milam, the shortstop, he's pulled over towards the center of the diamond. Second baseman Dickinson pulled over towards the first base line for the pole.
1-1, here's the pitch, and it's bunted foul. Landed right in front of Brennan, just a foot or two up the first base line. So now a ball and 2 strikes.
This might have been one of the hardest throwers here that UCLA has faced all season. Just to reference his velocity one more time, bunting 96 is not easy, especially on that pitch where it was inside. You're trying to protect yourself, but also you want to get that bunt down.
And more fastballs since Brennan looked to bunt in this at-bat as well. Ianson's 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is a chopper on the right side of the infield, fielded by Ianson. He throws out Brennan at first, but that is more than enough to score. Roman Martin from third. The RBI ground out gives UCLA a 3-0 lead here in the first inning.
And there's nothing more that John Savage wants. And hey, Peyton Brennan wanted to put the bunt down. In fact, he kind of just put a swinging bunt down. He hit it off the end of the bat, and it ended up just going right in front of the cut of the grass there in front of home plate. Still a runner in scoring position. 2 outs now, but UCLA up 3-0.
As Salgado advanced up to second on the play, and Blake Baltz will get to hit. 7th to come to the plate in this first inning. Baltz trying to break out of a little slump here as the DH takes a fastball for a strike over the inner half. Baltz has 3 hits in the postseason, all coming back in the opener against Fresno State. 0 for 4 on Saturday against Murray State, but he was very close to a 2 RBI double. Now the fastball is grounded up the middle behind the bag. Milam's got it. Throw on the run in time to retire Baltz, and that'll end the inning. But what a start for UCLA here in this winner's bracket matchup with LSU. They played 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 left on base. It's UCLA 3, LSU coming up. Not sure UCLA could have written a better start for themselves here against LSU. The winner advances to the bracket final on Wednesday night. The loser has to play Arkansas tomorrow night, but it's already 3-0 UCLA before LSU gets its first swings. Here's a lineup for the Tigers. They are the home team, coming in at 49-15. They'll lead it off with the left fielder, Derek Curiel. Then it's Ethan Fry, the DH. Stephen Milam, the shortstop, hits third. Jake Brown hitting cleanup and playing in right field. Garrett Jones, the big slugger and first baseman, hits fifth. Luis Hernandez does the catching, hitting sixth. Batting seventh, playing third tonight is Tanner Reeves. Daniel Dickinson, the second baseman, hits eighth. And Chris Stanfield is in center field, rounding out the order. They're going to take on Landon Stump for UCLA, the sophomore right-hander out of the Bay Area, grew up in Morgan Hill, just south of San Jose. He'll make his third start of this postseason. He's got a 2.57 ERA here in postseason play, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits in 7 innings with 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. Here's the magic number for Landon Stump in UCLA tonight. When the right-hander can pitch at least 4 innings, UCLA is 11-1. If Stump does not go 4 innings, the Bruins are 2-3.
Well, there you go. That's the whole story right there. And John Savage would love to get an excellent outing from Stump. In terms of stuff real quick, there was that fastball at 91-94. He's got a slider and an occasional change. Now, in fact, he actually has 5 pitches, but, you know, different variations of that breaking ball and a cut fastball. And sometimes he's got that change, which he'll throw in there later, especially to left-handed batters.
And he will face a left-handed batter here to start for LSU. Derek Curiel, true freshman out of West Covina, bounces the first pitch right at Chalowski, and the shortstop has his throw picked out of the dirt by Lavu for out number 1 on just 1 pitch. So if you're Stump, you walk onto the mound with a 3-0 lead, and big moment, big ball game for him, and you get 1 out on 1 pitch.
Can't do much better than that, and that was just tailor-made. Rock Chalowski, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Didn't have to move at all for this one. Right at him, and a great pick by Lavu at first base to get the out.
So you retire Curiel, the leading hitter in terms of batting average on this LSU team, right away. Now here is the DH, Ethan Fry, and he takes a fastball at the knees on the outside for a called strike. Fry, a slugger, at 6'6", 225, 8th best slugging percentage in the SEC, and off the end of the bat, he lifts this one back and out of play. Quickly down 0-2 to Landon Stump.
That one was a 77-mile-per-hour curveball there, right off the tip of the bat, so very out in front. Stump can continue to slow him down if he wants.
Out of the windup, he deals, and that is off the outside. That one a little bit softer, perhaps a change up there from Stump. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ethan Fry, who's had a quiet postseason, hitting just .207. And there's a ground ball to the left of second. That'll get through up the middle for a base knock. So Fry is aboard with one out after he went 0 for 4 against Arkansas on Saturday. Offense was at a premium in that game between the Tigers and the Hogs, and LSU able to win despite a season-high 16 strikeouts at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, and even just in that at-bat by Fry, I mean, 86-mile-an-hour slider that he took 107 up the middle. So hit it well. Now the Bruins trying to get the double play here with one out.
Chalowski is behind the second base bag. Call midway between first and second, and Lavu holding on Fry. As here is the switch hitting shortstop, Stephen Milam, to hit from the left side. Stump out of the stretch for the first time. First pitch is a called strike at the belt. Fastball right there against Milam, who is not a big guy, 5'8", and he crouches down trying to squeeze that strike zone.
Yeah, and he wants you to throw him a strike. Meanwhile, at first, Fry, 4 stolen bases on the year, taking a medium-sized lead.
0-1 pitch. Breaking ball down and in. 1-1. Looked like a curveball there from Stump, who pitched well last weekend against UTSA. 4 scoreless with 5 strikeouts and just 4 hits allowed. Bruins taking down the Roadrunners in 2 games to get here. And that one bounced in right behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike as Stump faces Milam. A 3-0 lead for UCLA here in the last of the first.
Meanwhile, Fry hitting .331 on the season. 5 of 9 of these hitters in this lineup are hitting over .300, so it's an excellent hitting team.
And Milam at the plate just under .300. And he pulls this one foul. Now Lavu was right there, and it was just a foot foul as he gloved it on the wrong side of the first base bag. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Milam. Had a productive day on Saturday against Arkansas. 2 for 4 with a double. He has been one of their best hitters in the postseason. He's hitting .435 with 11 batted in. Trying to help LSU make up this early 3-0 deficit. Stump out of the stretch. Ready for a 2-2 pitch. And another foul yanked on the ground. Another breaking ball there from Stump. And Milam out in front.
That's 4 in a row breaking balls. That first pitch to Milam was a fastball. Since then, trying to keep all of these hitters out in front, especially with that infield pulled over to the right. They want him to ground out, or rather, induce a ground ball to the right side.
Wind continues to blow in, and a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds. 2-2, and there's a liner down the right field line, a fair ball. That'll bounce up against the bleachers, and Lavu hurries it back into Salgado able to fling it back in, hold Milam to a single, but Fry goes first to third, and LSU coming right back. They've got first and third with 1 out.
And he got that slider, and this time was just enough behind on it to just get it within that right field line. Probably was fair, maybe by 6 inches to a foot. And luckily it kicked off the part of the wall that kind of juts out down the right field line, so Salgado didn't have to run all the way down to the corner. So that runner, now Fry at third base, runner on first, still able to possibly induce a ground ball here to get out of the inning. But meanwhile, interestingly, UCLA still maintaining the shift on this lefty hitter coming up. Phoenix call playing towards the hole. Chalowski actually to the right of second base, so an overshift here, trying to get a double play ball.
Yeah, it's Jake Brown, another left-handed hitter. And the right fielder a chance to get LSU on the board immediately here in the first inning. First pitch, a wave and a foul, just deflecting its way to the backstop for strike 1 from Landon Stump. Brown did not start on Saturday against Arkansas because the Hogs had their lefty Zach Root on the hill, and Brown, a left-handed hitter, has struggled against left-handed pitching this year, but he is in there tonight against Stump. 0-1, first and third, 1 out, last of the first. The pitch. And that's on the outside corner, a called strike 2. A changeup there from Stump to get ahead.
Yeah, 80 miles per hour. Might have actually been slightly off the plate, but home plate umpire Kellen Levy giving him the call there.
3-0 UCLA here in the last of the first, but LSU has back-to-back singles after an opening ground out. Now the 0-2, and that's hard hit. That'll get through the shift on the right side. LSU is on the board. Milam goes first to third. It's 3 consecutive singles for the Tigers, and they are on the scoreboard. Now 3-1.
I mean, after Stump started this inning with that first pitch ground out to shortstop, the Tigers have been battling in these at-bats. Each of these at-bats going at least 4 pitches, but that one actually was only a 3-pitch at-bat, 3 straight singles. 2 of those on off-speed, but that one a fastball that he kind of just got enough of the plate on, and a good piece of hitting. Again, another hard-hit ball at 105 exit velo.
As Stump is not getting any swing and miss here in the first inning, and now a guy to really be careful against in Jared Jones stepping in. It's been an up and down season for him, but he's got a lot of power in that bat. 20 home runs on the year. And Stump will lob a throw over to first to check on Jake Brown. He's got 11 stolen bags this year. Try and lull Jones at the plate a little bit. Jones been in a rut. He went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts on Saturday. Spent some extra time after practice yesterday with Jay Johnson trying to figure things out. First pitch to him is off the outside for ball 1. So 3-1 UCLA here in the last of the first. Bruins with 4 hits when they came to the plate in the top half of the frame. But LSU now has 3 consecutive singles off Landon Stump. And the overshift to the left side of the infield now against the right-handed hitting Jones. 6'4", 246 at the plate. And that one is shot high in the air to right center field. Salgado settling in front of the wall. At the wall, he leaps, it's gone. LSU has taken the lead into the wind. Jared Jones puts the Tigers up 4-3.
I mean, that one was absolutely smoked, and we talked about how the wind is literally blowing in the opposite direction of where that ball went. 110 off the bat, projected distance 388 feet, but that was just a pitch that was right down the middle. Was a fastball, and he got all of it. That's his 63rd career home run. That's 3rd in LSU's program history.
Well, what was a feel-good start for UCLA has been evaporated immediately. Single, 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 and then a 3-run homer for Jared Jones. That is just how he drew it up after he had 5 strikeouts the other night. He goes the opposite way into the wind. Salgado was at the wall, leapt up. It was just out of his reach, hit it 388 feet. And now the Bruins call for time and bring the infield in. And that bullpen is getting active for UCLA.
And it looks like it's Chris Grotus, the left-handed reliever out of the bullpen, who's starting to get his arms loose out there, throwing a weighted ball against the wall and doing some J-bands. Meanwhile, head coach John Savage for the Bruins out to talk to his entire infield. I mean, that is not how you wanted this inning to go. And in terms of strikes, look, Stump has thrown 16 pitches, 12 strikes, but unfortunately he has been hit hard. Each of these singles coming over 100 miles per hour. And especially on that last home run by Jones, we were just talking before the broadcast about how strong that wind is coming inward towards the field, and he completely beat it. And you don't do that unless you get all of a ball. So meanwhile, John Savage giving Landon Stump a quick breather and maybe talking through some strategy here as he faces the bottom of the order.
And the 3 singles that preceded the home run were all 2-strike hits for LSU. Stump was getting in front, but then leaving things over the plate. One more look, boy, Salgado, that was, I mean, an inch over the tip of his glove. He was right there, just could not get the full extension necessary. And now here's the catcher, Luis Hernandez, taking ball 1. Ian May also throwing out in the bullpen for UCLA, and he is throwing quickly.
And this is a pretty lefty-heavy lineup, so 2 lefties in the pen.
Hernandez pokes it to short, one up to Chalowski in the hole. He spins, throws, one up to Lavu, basket catch. He's got it for the out. Boy, Rock Chalowski, he ends up, his momentum takes him into shallow center field on that play. And I think even all the LSU fans can appreciate that bit of defense right there from Rock.
I mean, after all that loudness from the crowd, I mean, you just kind of in awe of Chalowski. I mean, he just floats this ball perfectly on a one-hop to Lavu, but to your point, he fielded this in left field and then does a spin on the move. I mean, that's just tailor-made.
Tailor-made for maybe one of one.
That's right.
Here's Tanner Reeves, left-handed hitting third baseman, and he takes a strike over the plate. Off speed there from Stump. So UCLA, after a 3-run first, now down 4-3, looking for the final out of the bottom of the first. Now the pitch. That's lobbed in on the outside, a slider. 0-2 now against Tanner Reeves, who is making his 19th start of the season tonight. It was Michael Braswell playing third the other night, and he fouls this one the opposite way. Count still 0-2. But Reeves has gotten some spot starts here in the postseason. And as a left-handed bat, getting that opportunity here tonight. Hitting .266 on the year with 3 home runs. Bases clear, 2 outs. Stump's pitch is fouled again down the left field line, an elevated fastball. And Reeves fights it off.
92 miles per hour on the gun. But more than that, he's taken the shift completely the other way. Both of these are down the left field line.
Once again, the 0-2, and that's bounced in. 1 ball and 2 strikes on a breaking ball there from Stump.
And in terms of stuff so far, Stump has thrown 23 pitches, but 14 of them have been off speed.
Back into his motion, the pitch. Fastball high and away, and Reeves does not bite. 92 miles an hour there from Stump. Just trying to get him and UCLA back in the dugout. 1-2, and a ground ball foul on the first base side.
Turning into a bit of a battle here. I mean, this will be pitch 8 of this at bat. Mostly sliders early, then changeups later. And he's really trying to get him to pull this ball into the shift.
And it's 25 pitches already for Stump here in the first. Here's another, and there's a high chopper to the right side. It's Call that's got it. Quick throw to Lavu. He's there in time for the out. And the side is finally retired. But LSU has wiped away that early UCLA lead, and the Tigers are in front. 4 runs on 4 hits, including the home run from Jared Jones. And after 1 here in Omaha, buckle up. It's LSU 4, UCLA 3. We head to the second inning here in Omaha. UCLA and LSU, the Bruins trailing the Tigers 4-3. Plenty of offense in that first frame and a long way to go. We had history on this field earlier today as Arkansas had a no-hitter, just the third in College World Series history. Gage Wood was 1 pitch away from a perfect game. He hit 1 batter, the only blemish, and he had 19 strikeouts. That was a College World Series record as well. Arkansas advancing through the losers bracket. They will get the loser of this game tomorrow night. 8-9-1 in the order here for UCLA. Cash Duggar, Phoenix Call, and Dean West against the right-hander Anthony Ianson. First pitch to Duggar is a fastball. That's a high fastball and a high strike, but he gets the call. Strike one against Duggar. By the way, we mentioned the stat about UCLA scoring first. Well, no team to homer here in the College World Series yet this year has won a game.
Now that's a stat.
It's now 0-2 against Duggar as a breaking ball from Ianson gets him in front. 0-2. 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning for UCLA. Here's the pitch, and Duggar bounces it up the middle. On the backhand, Dickinson from second throws on the run, and Duggar is retired. Well, Dickinson had a couple of those plays in the first inning. Could not get a clean throw off to first, but third time's a charm for him here to lead off the second.
I mean, still pretty good range on that ground ball, and running down the line, Duggar, a catcher, not premier speed out there, but Dickinson throwing a ball across his body over to first base to Jones, who just hit that home run for an out.
Base is clear, 1 away here in the top of the second for Phoenix Call. He's got the second best batting average on the team in the postseason, .474. And he takes a slider down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, Call's had a hit in every postseason game, hitting 9 for 19. Now the pitch. Fastball is popped up foul. Off to the right and out of play.
And a bit more of a diet of fastballs here in the second inning. In fact, 5 pitches thrown so far, 4 fastballs. He's trying to get ahead. These Bruins so far have been pretty easy on the off-speed pitches, trying to speed them up here.
1-1, and that hits Call. Got him on the left shoulder. That was a slider that did not break. And so Call is aboard, and this has been the recipe for UCLA. Call gets on, and now here comes Dean West and the top of the lineup.
Yeah, Phoenix Call in the 9 spot for the Bruins here tonight, but he kind of functions as a second leadoff hitter, and that's exactly why John Savage puts him there. And you referenced how the free passes and certainly Phoenix Call getting on base. That hit by pitch puts good speed on the base paths for the Bruins.
Dean West with a single in the first. It was a ball that was tracked down by Dickinson at second, but couldn't make a throw over to first. And there's a check on Call, who is back, getting that right hand on over there. 4-3 LSU on top of the Bruins. We are just in the top of the second inning with the Bruins at the plate. West waiting for the first pitch from Anthony Ianson. And here it comes. Fastball bunted on the left side. Ianson, the bare hand to his right, throws to first. It's low, but gloved by Jones to retire West. But he does his job. Phoenix Call advances up to second. And that'll set up Brock Chalowski.
Can't do much better than that. That's how you manufacture runs at the college level. Puts Phoenix Call with good speed at second base. Now, meanwhile, the outfield for the Tigers has been playing pretty deep so far. In fact, they're just maybe 10, 15 feet in front of the warning track. So a lot of grass for a blooper to fall, but they're trying to prevent those doubles from getting to the wall.
Brings up Brock Chalowski. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the first. Did come around to score. A runner on second, 1 away for him here. And Ianson's first pitch is inside. Tried to run that slider through the front door, but missed it. Ball 1.
Meanwhile, Luis Hernandez, the catcher for the Tigers, set up on the outside with that one. Ianson missing completely on the opposite side of the plate to the righty hitter.
A check on the runner, and now the pitch, a swing and a miss. There's that 12-6 curveball, and it gets Chalowski to chase down and away. The count now 1-1 to Rock.
I mean, that's 16 inches of vertical break on that 12-6 curveball. Chalowski just swinging over the top.
West the lead, or excuse me, Call rather the lead off of second. Now the pitch, and that is a half swing. He went around. Another curveball from Ianson, the same exact pitch, and Rock could not hang off. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We referenced this on the last broadcast, but Chalowski, he's gotten over 50% fastballs in his at-bats this year, but since getting to Omaha, almost exclusively off-speed pitches.
Trying to protect here, down 1-2 against Ianson. The righty now on the third base side of the rubber. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. went to the slider, and that'll do it for UCLA here in the second inning. So Chalowski swings and misses on 3 consecutive pitches. He is a tough guy to strike out, but Ianson does so with the breaking ball. 1 left aboard for UCLA after 1.5. It's LSU 4, UCLA 3. We head to the last of the second here in Omaha. UCLA trailing LSU 4-3, and I got Garth on the PA system, Baton Rouge here for the folks from LSU, well represented here at Charles Schwab Field. Paul Skeens is in the house, part of the 2023 National Championship team with the Tigers. Now with the Pirates. They got an off day today, so he has parachuted in. Landon Stump back to the mound for UCLA. Open for a quieter last of the second after giving up 4 runs in the first. He will face 8, 9, and 1 here. Dickinson, Stanfield, and Curiel. First pitch bounces off the outside. A slider missing there. Ball 1 to the second baseman, Daniel Dickinson, who's hitting .311 on the season with 12 home runs. Quiet, though, here in the postseason. Just 4 for 26, a 154 average. 1-0 up and in, has to lean out of the way, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Looked like a slider there that just got away from Stump and turned his wrist over just enough, and he's just about to reach 40 pitches on this next one.
And that one is at the knees for a called strike. A fastball gets the count to 2-1. As UCLA has Ian May and Chris Grotus warming up in the bullpen. Stump's pitch. Fastball. That's at the knees on the outside corner. A nice looking 2-seamer there from Stump. Caught the outside. And it's 2-2 as Dickinson leads off the home half of the second. Stump into his motion. The pitch. And that one is poked on the ground towards short. Chalowski to his left with the glove. Throwing on the run in time for the out. And there is one away here in the second. All 4 outs so far recorded by Landon Stump have been a ground out.
I mean, and they've been made with excellent plays by this defense. Rock Chalowski with a couple of them. This one he moved to his left quickly and made that throw on the run, the second one of the night, but this time on the dirt. Chalowski, a big reason for the defensive prowess of this UCLA Bruin defense.
Here's a right-handed hitting Chris Stanfield, the center fielder, rounding out the order. And he swings and misses on the first pitch. Off speed there from Stump on the outside corner. I don't feel good to get some swing and a miss. As Stump hasn't seen that much first time through the order. Now he lobs a slider for a called strike 2 on the outside. Grabs some extra dirt as he looks to settle in here. From the first base side of the rubber, into his motion, and deals. And it's high and away. Well off the plate and an easy take. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Stanfield, the Tallahassee native and Auburn transfer who's having the best season of his career in his first year with the Tigers. And that one is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one a little bit closer to the plate. Change up there from Stump on back-to-back offerings. Now the 2-2. Fastball is foul into the second deck here on the first base side.
And he continues to stay on the outside part of the plate here too. Stanfield, the right-handed hitter, infield swung around to the left. Not quite an overshift, but really trying to get him to roll over.
Another 2-2 pitch. And that is hit in the air down the right field line. Salgado towards the line, towards the boundary, out of our view. Did he make the catch? No, it lands foul.
That was a straight run into that right field wall. And as you get closer to that corner there, the 335 corner, the crowd concourse area kind of juts into play. So there's not a lot of foul room there. So he kind of went face forward into that padding, and he just missed that ball. It actually tipped off the top of his glove. Salgado would have loved to have gotten that out.
You've got less than 10 feet, maybe 8 feet between the line and the boundary there in the corners. So another 2-2 pitch from Stump, and there's a liner down the left field line. Foul, just hooked. Stanfield out in front of one for the first time, but he's making Landon Stump work for it here with one away here in the last of the second. Tigers up 4-3. Next pitch will be the 8th of the at-bat. And here it is. Off the end of the bat, lifted into center field. Brennan started in, now to his right. He makes the catch. And Stump has retired the first 2 LSU batters.
And it took 3 sliders there in a row to get him out, but finally able to get him to fly out there to center field. Peyton Brennan with a catch, and relatively speaking, a nice cleaner inning so far for Stump, who really needed it after that 4 spot in the first by the Tigers.
He's now retired 4 in a row since the Jones home run. That pitch count is getting up there. Next one will be number 40 as he looks to put the Tigers down in order in the second. He'll have to face Derek Curiel for a second time first, though. The leadoff man takes a strike on the outside. Change up there from Stump. Curiel grounded out to Chalowski at shortstop on the very first pitch he saw. The kick and the throw. And the breaking ball down and inside. 1-1. Curiel, a SoCal guy, grew up in West Covina, went to Orange Lutheran High School, and is a true freshman this year with LSU. The pitch, pulls it on the ground to the right side. Phoenix Call has it in the hole and throws him out at first to retire the side in order. We've played 2 here in Omaha. It's LSU 4, UCLA 3. We head to the top of the third here at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. College World Series in this winner's bracket matchup. UCLA trailing LSU 4-3. It's only the second time here in the postseason that UCLA is playing from behind. You recall UTSA in game 1 got a couple of early runs, and the Bruins bounced back pretty fast, and that's it. They have only trailed for 1.5 innings here in this entire postseason. Scored 3 runs in the first and then saw LSU score 4 themselves. The Bruins will come to the plate here with the heart of the order. Lavu, Martin, and Salgado due up against Anthony Ianson. Able to deal with a hit batter there in the second. Otherwise, he has retired 5 of the last 6 that he has faced since UCLA jumped on him early. So LaVue will face Ianson for a second time here to lead off the top of the third. Went the other way for a base knock in the first. And the first pitch is a fastball skied down the left field line and shallow. Curiel coming in, now settling, makes the catch, a step in the foul ground. And LaVue is retired on one pitch. So both of these teams with the opportunity to start 2-0 here in Omaha. And more often than not, that is the recipe to ultimately winning the national championship. 28 of the last 34 College World Series champions have started here at the College World Series 2-0. LSU is one of the teams that was able to overcome an early loss when they won 2 years ago in 2023. Here's Roman Martin with one away, and the base is clear. And he takes a fastball up and in. Roman Martin with the run-scoring double back in the first inning. Now with 14 RBIs in the postseason, leading UCLA, all while he's hitting over 400. And he looks at a curveball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
First pitch, fastball. Second pitch, curveball. Trying to keep it on the outside part of the plate. Meanwhile, the outfield still not really covering the left field line. Curiel, the left fielder, playing maybe standard.
2-0. And there's a called strike. Went to the slider there. That slider with some vertical break, like the curveball, just less of it. And maybe a little bit of lateral movement.
Yeah, a little bit of lateral, but had about 3 inches there of vertical break.
Now the 2-1. There's a fastball, and it's down low. Could not be gloved by Hernandez either. So Martin ahead 3-1, trying to get himself aboard with 1 out here in the top of the third, and the Bruins chasing a run. Sophomore out of Whittier. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled off to the right. That one coming in at 94 from Ianson.
And pretty much all the Bruins need to do at this moment is continue having good at-bats. I mean, this one, an example of it, a full count. Ianson doesn't walk a lot of batters on the mound, but make that pitch count go as high as you can.
This will be number 41. And there's a fastball, a liner to right field, but right at Brown. He ranges back and makes the catch. Solid contact there for Roman Martin, but right at the defense, and Ianson has retired the first 2 Bruin batters.
And with that pitch, Ianson here now just over 40 pitches at 41, and he's been in the zone, which is pretty much textbook what you're going to expect from him. 29 strikes out of 41. Out of the 13 batters he's faced so far, 7 first pitch strikes. So he'll be in the zone, and he will get you to swing and miss. UCLA continuing to try and be aggressive against him.
Here's Salgado, an RBI single in the first, and Ianson misses way high and outside. Ianson can go deep into games. He has passed the century mark 7 times and has thrown as many as 115 pitches. 1-0 to Salgado. Swing and a miss. There's the curveball there. 1 ball and 1 strike. But the base is clear and 2 gone here in the top of the third. It appears the pitchers have settled in after a noisy first inning. Tigers up 4-3. No pitch is yanked on the ground to the right side. It'll be Dickinson, the second baseman, to his left, and the throw on the run in time. And UCLA is retired in order here in the top of the third. That's now 5 retired in a row for Ianson after 2.5 in Omaha. It's LSU 4, UCLA 3. UCLA trying to make up a run here in Omaha. They trail LSU 4-3. Tigers will be at the plate here in the last of the third as Landon Stump continues. He has retired 5 in a row. This is the 6th all-time meeting between the two programs. LSU has a 3-2 edge. This is now 5 straight meetings, though, that have come here in the NCAA tournament, including the opening round of the College World Series back in 2013. That was the last time they played. Bruins won that one 2-1 behind 7 innings of 1-run ball of Adam Plutko. James Kaprelian and David Berg coming out of the bullpen to cement the victory. Now Landon Stump catches the outside corner for strike 1 against Ethan Fry. The DH leads it off here for LSU in the home half of the third, with Milam and Brown to follow, 2, 3, and 4 in the LSU lineup. Now the pitch. There's a fastball. Just catching the outside, 0-2. 93 miles an hour there from Stump, his fastest of the ball game. One thing he has done well is throwing strikes, getting in front of these LSU Tigers. Puts that one off the outside, and he's consistently done that ahead 0-2.
Yeah, to your point about him being in the zone, 44 pitches, 33 strikes. So 3/4 of his pitches have been strikes.
Been able to pitch out of the windup since that Jones home run, and he gets a foul ball induced here from Fry, backing out of play. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fry had that first single for LSU in the first inning, plunked it just to the left of the second base bag. Fry Jr. out of Rose Pine, Louisiana, and having a breakout season. Only spot work for him as an underclassman. And he fouls another, backing out of play.
That one, another good fastball by Stump on the outside part of the plate, 92 miles per hour. Really pumping it in there. And he's really aiming for that outside corner. He wants these guys to roll over or not really get good wood on the barrel.
Infield slightly to pull against the left-handed hitter. Outfield straight up. 1-2. And another foul. This one grounded on the left side.
And actually, kind of in terms of his pitch selection so far, Stump has alternated between slider, fastball. We're at pitch number 6 coming up in the at-bat.
So what are we getting?
I mean, if any indication, maybe a fastball.
Still 1 ball and 2 strikes against the leadoff man. And it's just off the outside. It looks like a changeup there at 87 miles an hour.
Might have been a cutter, actually.
That's about 5 to 6 miles an hour slower than that fastball. So now the 2-2 to Fry. And that's outside. Same pitch. So here's the first full count that Landon Stump has had to face. And I believe the first 3-ball count he has dealt with as well. Here it comes. And that's down. Ball 4. Oh, what an at-bat there for Ethan Fry. He's able to work back from down 0-2 and has himself a leadoff walk. That snaps a run of 5 retired in a row for Stump.
And it returns Stump back to over 50 pitches here. Action still in the bullpen. Chris Grotus, number 45, still getting loose out there. We did see Ian May, the left-handed pitcher, as well. Now May has come in more of a long relief type of pitcher. Grotus has also come in the middle innings as well.
So first walk there for Stump, a 9-pitch at bat. And here's Milam, who beat the shift, grounding one through the right side. Switch hitter from the left side, and he takes down and in. So some foul balls in that last at bat, but Stump has now consistently been out of the zone, and he wants to call for time and retie his right cleat here before the 1-0 pitch to Milam. 4-3 LSU, bottom of the third. 1 on and nobody out for Stephen Milam. Hitting in the 3 spot here for the Tigers. And this is when they did damage against Stump in the first. It began with a Fry single that time. Well, this inning begins with a Fry walk. Stump ready. Here's his 1-0. And that's high and outside. Again, not close. These are easy takes for LSU right now.
Yeah, he's not really getting in the zone with that slider, at least so far. And you referenced how it's the top of this lineup that has been contributing today. In that last game against Arkansas, they were 0 for 13, the top 3 hitters.
The pitch, again high, and towards the outside. This one a little bit closer, but the fastball does miss. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, LSU has tinkered their lineup quite a bit from that game on Saturday. Milam has been bumped up 1 spot. There's a strike over the inside, just caught it too. So it's 3 balls and a strike to Milam. Yeah, Curiel was hitting down in the 6th spot on Saturday. Now he's back hitting leadoff. Here's a pitch. High, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Stump.
And it looks like he went back up with that fastball there on that 3-1 count, but that's 2 straight walks, as you mentioned, and we're going to see, that looks John Savage coming out to the mound to hand it over to a lefty pitcher, and it looks like it's going to be Chris Grotus, I believe.
Yep, he's making his way, and yeah, John Savage knew it immediately. You've got Jake Brown coming to the plate next, and he immediately took 2 steps out of the dugout, made the call to the bullpen. The leash for Stump short here. Did well to battle back after giving up that home run and giving up the lead, but now back-to-back walks, and we talked about at the top of the inning how good his command had been, and then right on cue, that battle there from Fry seemed to get him off balance.
Yeah, I mean, he just couldn't quite get into the zone again that inning, and as we kind of look back at his final line here as he exits the mound and heads off the field, was able to get through 2 innings, did not record an out here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, and 2 base on balls, all around 56 pitches. And hey, John Savage would have loved to have gotten a bit more of a quality start from Stump, but if anything, UCLA has shown that their bullpen is able to pick up the slack. And they're starting off here with Chris Grotus on the mound, a lefty pitcher who has come in many times this season in a similar position. And in terms of stuff, as we wait for him as he gets his warm-up pitches here, that fastball will be right around 90, low 90s or so. He's got a slider as well. And he comes in, to your point, and is going to be facing the lefty hitter in Jake Brown, who hit that home run as you talked about. And hoping that that lefty-lefty matchup here is going to prove to be more difficult for Jake Brown.
It'll be Grotus' 4th appearance here in the postseason. Last we saw of him was against UTSA last Saturday, went 2 2/3 scoreless, matching a season high in length, had a couple of strikeouts. Did have that inning against UC Irvine where he gave up a couple of runs, but on the course of the season, he has been very solid for the Bruins. A 4.94 ERA, 4-1 his record. And 31 innings, he's got 28 strikeouts against 14 walks, and teams hitting just .211 against him. Now he will inherit first and second here in the last of the 3rd, and the Bruins trailing 4-3.
Meanwhile, the situation for the Tigers out on the base paths, 1st and 2nd. That's Milam at 1st and Fry at 2nd. And Grotus here is ready. So we're going to get back to action here. Meanwhile, outfield is going to be playing pretty deep quite immediately here on this first pitch to Jake Brown, who hit that big home run back earlier in the game.
Actually, it was Jared Jones is in the on-deck circle.
That's right.
Brown singled right before him. So that's hard of the order. Proving very talented so far for LSU as Brown squares to bunt, but he takes off the outside for ball 1.
And Brown, that single back in the 1st, an RBI single. Would love to get one more on the board for the Tigers.
Overshift against the left-handed hitter. He squares and takes right on the outside. A fastball in there at 90 miles per hour. Don't think Brown liked the call from Kellen Levy, but it is 1-1.
And it does look like that was off the plate, in fact. 90 miles per hour on the gun.
No one steals strikes better than Cash Duggar. Martin shallow at 3rd. Here's the square, and there's the bunt right in front of the plate, and then rolling foul. So now 1-2 to Brown.
And LSU really trying to manufacture this run and get those 2 runners into scoring position, especially with no outs. Now Roman Martin, the third baseman for the Bruins, playing behind the bag. Chalowski playing behind second for the pole.
2 on, nobody out, last of the third. Grotu set, stacking his lead foot over his back foot, and that was offered at. He tried to bunt, couldn't get it down. It's a strikeout for Brown. Wasn't even a foul, didn't make contact at all. Grotu's putting that one off the outside. And so Brown down on strikes. Surprised a guy who's a .315 hitter throughout the course of the season. They wouldn't just have him swing away.
I mean, that is kind of curious, but that was a perfect 2-strike pitch from Chris Grotus. Get this, a slider with nearly 15 inches of break. In fact, over 15 inches of break off the plate into that other batter's box.
Well, now he has to deal with Jared Jones, who had the 3-run homer in the first. 2 on, 1 away in the third. First pitch, and that's a called strike on the outside. So Jones, talk about coming back from a tough game. On the second pitch that he saw, wiped away the memory of that 5-strikeout effort immediately. Opposite field into the wind. Now the pitch. Off the outside with the fastball, 1-1. We'll say the wind has died down from where it was for much of pregame. It was really gusting at times, but it is more of a gentle breeze as it comes in from center field.
Yeah, and it's switched a little bit towards right field.
1-1 pitch from Grotus, and that's in there for a called strike 2, right at the knees. Another fastball over the inner half.
Really attacking him with that fastball and getting it over the plate there on kind of at the knees, but middle.
Overshift to the left side of the infield against the slugging right-hander. Against the lefty, Grotus. His 1-2 pitch off the outside.
This one possibly just a setup pitch back to the fastball on that count, really. And again, Grotus has the ability to go back to that slider, but with a righty in the box, might be electing to stay away.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 aboard and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Just outside. Duggar trying to frame it. If the fastball does not get the call, it's a full count to Jones. Could it be a third walk in this inning for LSU? Fry and Milam aboard. And then Brown striking out, trying to bunt. That was the first strikeout by a Bruin pitcher. Here's the payoff. Struck him out swinging. Right through a fastball that he buried below the knees. And it's back-to-back Ks for Chris Grotus.
And a great way to come back in that at-bat. 89-mile-per-hour fastball right at the knees, at the bottom of the zone. And he was almost able to get him looking on a couple of those 2-strike pitches, but got him swinging a big out here for the Bruins.
Jones having to drop down to a knee, trying to make contact. So 2 away now for the catcher, Luis Hernandez. Indiana State transfer. Takes a strike. Another fastball from Grotus right at the knees. He's got that bottom of the zone dialed in.
Really using that fastball to get ahead, and he's come in and he's thrown strikes. 7 for 11 so far.
Hernandez a ground out to short in the first inning, 0 for 1. The pitch is grounded up the middle. That'll get on through. Brennan having to hustle around third. Goes Fry. He will score, and LSU extends its lead. Now 5-3. Hernandez has been one of their best hitters here in the postseason, hitting over 400. And he drives in another run for the Tigers. Outside of the home run for Jared Jones in the first inning, a lot of these base hits are on the ground, but finding gaps in UCLA's defense.
And several of them up the middle, and this one no exception. That was actually 7 fastballs in a row from Chris Grotus, and Hernandez able to take this one 1-0-2 up the middle. That's all you got to do. Just put the ball on the ground, put it in play. LSU reaping the benefits of that.
So the leadoff walk proves costly. That'll be charged to Stump. Bruins close to getting out of it, and we'll have a pinch hitter here for Reeves. The third baseman gets 1 at bat, plays just 2.5 innings. It'll be John Pearson who played outfield yesterday and led off the game, will hit from the right side. Here's the pitch, and it's down and in for ball one. So you remove the left-handed bat in Reeves and put in the right-handed bat in Pearson.
Yeah, and Pearson, a freshman, coming into a big situation here, but that lefty-righty matchup, that's what you want.
Pearson hitting .263 this year, the younger brother of Josh Pearson. As Grotus misses way high and outside, Duggar having to come out of the crouch. It's 2-0.
Grotus trying to find his way back into the zone. Again, has done a pretty good job so far of keeping the ball within the zone. But a runner in for scoring position, first and second here.
Milam, that lead runner, has speed. The 2-0 is fouled straight back.
Back to the fastball there that he fouled straight back, so right on that pitch. 90 miles per hour, but bit of a gift, and lucky for Grotus that he didn't take that one. That was right down the middle.
Pearson, a big boy, 6 foot, 248, out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Grotus spins around to second, checking on Milam. He's trying to keep him honest over there. Outfield is deep with Pearson at the plate. He's got a couple of home runs this year. 5 for 19 in total for the freshman. Grotus turns back to second. They got him picked off, and they do have him. A tag there from Call. We'll see if LSU wants to challenge. They may. You had Milam dancing off of second. Grotus had already looked back that way, and he got Milam leaning, whipped around to throw to Call covering. But immediately, Jay Johnson and LSU calling for a review on what was a close play there. Grotus put that throw right on the money.
And it looks like the umpires are going to take a look at this one more time. Now, if Milam is thrown out there, or picked off rather, I mean, he has been thrown, caught stealing a couple of times this season, 2 for 4 in that department, but actually, I think he might have gotten in.
Yeah, he got that right hand back to the corner of the bag, so he will stay on second.
And that's the second base umpire, Jeff Head, who made the call on that. And the way that Phoenix Call turned to tag Milam kind of obstructed the view of the bag and certainly Milam's hand. So, and as we saw the replay here on the video board, LSU fans certainly cheering. They think that he's safe, and they're likely right.
Yeah, this should be a very quick review, and the umpires are already getting feedback into their earpieces, and we should resume here. It will be 2-1 to Pearson.
Would have been a nice way for the Bruins to get out of the inning, especially considering how well LSU has hit so far. I mean, we're just in the top of the fourth here, already 5 hits.
Bottom of the third, actually.
Bottom of the third, yeah, sorry. And 5 hits, 5 runs.
After review, the call at second will be overturned. The runner is safe.
Yep, you hear the call there from Angel Campos. Works a lot of games on the West Coast. We see him often out at Jackie Robinson Stadium. So the right call there. Milam stays on second. Hernandez on first, 2 away. 2-1, the count to John Pearson, who will continue, and the Bruins trailing 5-3. Grotus out of the stretch, checks on Milam, and comes home. And that's in there for a called strike 2. Lobbed a curveball that got through the back door. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Phoenix Call, second baseman covering the bag. He's behind second base. Infield shifted around to the left for the pull.
Lights beginning to take effect here in Omaha. And the pitch struck him out.